All right. What's up, folks? We are live. We are live. And we are live to stump out Benjamin Netanyahu. Man, what a delusional piece of crap this damn clown is. And salute to the leaders at the are the delegates that represents the nations that were present there at the UN conference. And as Netanyahu comes walking out to the stage, everybody else exits stage left. And for the folks that remain, you heard round of applause, being that they didn't have the courage to walk out, but they remained. But they also, showed their support of the member nations that walked out of this conference, as nobody wanted to hear this maniacal, sick bastard in Benjamin Netanyahu. And what he just really walked on that stage to present to people is about their annihilation of a group of people. This ain't them taking out militants, because you don't want to speak about the death to young women and children, the displacement of people there on their land. And then he goes in there and to speak sick shit and tough shit to the Western power nations, the nations that helped formulate the nation that his parents before him found as a land for immigrants to escape. The only place that anti-Semitism exists, and that being in Western Europe, mainly Germany. So this fool who is lost on his own history and seems to act as if he don't know shit, and it's possibly that he doesn't. It's no telling what the sick-minded parents who raised this delusional bastard may have taught him as a kid. Hold on, give me 1 second. Let me send this text. Let me see. I have to pair. All right, so I'm back. But yeah, so with this sick bastard with Netanyahu, so he gets in here and he brags about the pager thing that Israel did, which was like some criminal ass shit, as there were pagers that were purchased and shipped off to, I guess, leaders of Hamas. And somehow Israel intercepted the manufacturing of these communication devices, these pagers, and weaponized the shit, placed bombs in them. And at some preset time or whatever signal they send to each one of those pages, they exploded. And this fool sits in here and brags about that shit, treating as if it's a laughing matter, treating as if this is the way that you go about handling these situations, being a factor of where peace can never be brokered. And when you listen to the language and just the arrogance of such a pompous piece of shit in Benjamin Netanyahu speaks, you begin to understand why Hamas has stood up against this damn clown. And it's just simple as that. And now many of the Western powers who had fought for the position that they find themselves in over in that region, as we see a repeat of the Holocaust, because that's really what the Palestinians are going through. They're going through their own version of the damn Holocaust. And as much as, you get clowns in here, like, and it ain't just, it's mainly Trump, but it ain't just Trump. It's goddamn every single damn American leader that we have over here who stays quiet. Many of them descend from people who have immigrated over there, or they just want attachments to that land. And the upending of these people's peace that has existed over there probably for hundreds or if not thousands of years. And then now you have these people that are coming in here now. And that's the crazy part about this shit. And the fact that Netanyahu would sit there and brag about that shit and act as if they're victims of some sort of war, while he speaks about how they're going out there targeting anybody who targets Israel or sponsors these dudes, when ain't nobody targeting these fools. There'd be no threat to these people who've come over to this country and kind of really invaded it at the hands of the United States, France, and Britain. And then for Britain, France, and America to send tanks over there, bombs, bullets, pistols, and rifles. The leadership that has governed over this shit are the true, the people who have fought for this shit going on over there and going on around the world. Because it ain't just with the Palestinians, it's everything that's taking place around the world with these sick-minded ass people who then try to present themselves to the world as, keepers of peace and shit. When it's all about this last 400 years of agenda from these people, and that's the expansion of their damn missions and agendas and shit, that much of the new world is waking up from it. And even some of the countries who are guilty and who have founded this shit, who are starting to wake up and seeing how sick-minded this shit, that Netanyahu blames it on the media and all this other shit. No, Netanyahu, you're just a sick-ass bastard who the rest of the world is waking up to. But F the world waking up to and walking out. It's time for the world to do something to this clown. This clown should be picked up the same way ICE is picking up people off these streets. Netanyahu should be picked up, arrested, placed in some damn international criminal court, be found guilty and executed, removing him. And then now it goes in there to removing the power and not to creating a state called Israel. Israel should be nothing more than a shelter or a haven for the people who escaped the Holocaust some 80 years ago. And maybe it needs to be time to probably go about a relocation of the people who claim to be the survivors of what Hitler did and placing them back over into Europe where they come from. And just simple as that. Remove the weapons from out of Israel, remove them from Hamas, remove them from Palestine. That's the only way to bring about peace over there. You can't talk peace and all this other shit, and then you weaponize the people who live in the same goddamn communities and blocks, and these other people have been shifted out. Like this whole situation, I don't know what the leaders from back in the 40s were effing, but I ain't even got to say what they were thinking. Them fools are sick and effed up, and if you're a black person, you know what the hell these people were faced with, because these are the same sick-ass people who, function the way they function here, and then even allowed Nazis to come over here and add into this agenda and some of these little covert operations that begin to take place in America and shaped around certain communities that they wanted displaced, wanted removed, creating this marginalization and shit. And then now you have this new wave of it from a clown named Donald Trump, who a lot of the idiots failed to see, because your motherfucking intelligence ain't hiding to that level to really see what the hell this fool was about, what he was going to be doing, and now everybody's sitting there crying about the hoe. But always right with your boy, Reggie Owens, goddammit. Always on point. But that's all I had to say on this one. Salute to the people that walked out on that clown, because he's a certified hoe. Mark Summers in there, who's also a person who's an immigrant as well, probably came over there running from, the loss of the war in Germany, being his family were Hitler supporters. He says, hey, bro, so start the music stream. Never would I listen to a fool named Mark Summers, who sound like a Sesame Street character. Velocity says, big salute to those people for walking out. Says they know the jig is up. Says on that satanic line piece of shit, says in his cronies. Exactly, bro. Exactly. And that shit hurting Netanyahu's feelings because he's a hoe. And then Velocity says, Netanyahu says, been repeating the same shit for decades. Shaking my head. Says this country has nukes, and that country has weapons of mass destructions. TV says, salute, says, I'm pissed Jimmy Kimmel sold out. Yeah, he sold, but I see he been going in on Donald Trump. But I ain't like all that crying and apology shit that he did for that Charlie Kirk dude, who is a nobody. And salute. I've been listening to Charleston White going in on that fool. And that's the shit that should be stated. Ain't no goddamn apologist shit. He should have never apologized to nobody. F what these fools want to talk about and change the narratives and put words in your mouth. F them punks. Jimmy Kimmel should have never done that shit, but he's still been going in on Donald Trump. But what it also has done is it has reshaped the way people view these goddamn networks. And the reason why you should never pay attention. I don't watch TV like that. I don't pay attention to these shows. The most I see from these shows, if somebody posting something that was highlighted from segments of the shows, I catch it on social media. But to think that I'll sit there and be watching these networks and these television shows is an absolute no-no. Fuck them. But I see Cuz says, hey, Cuz says, what's with James Comey? So they trying to hit him with the Diddy Rico. That's that whole ass president who I told fools. That's why I don't talk politics with regular ass people, homie. Because regular ass people is stupid as fuck to me. Now I don't give a fuck if how cool I am with you. You's a stupid motherfucker. That's just my approach on shit. I tell people when they stupid. Is Donald Trump been a hoe? He a punk ass motherfucker. Let his mama get beat up, didn't do shit, but got everything to say about some old black innocent kids because some white woman got her ass attacked in the damn park. But Donald Trump let his mama get beat up by a white dude. And the white dude walk away with nothing. Donald Trump mama died fucked up from the beating she took from a white kid. And Donald Trump nowhere to save her because he's a bitch. He a whole ass motherfucker. Then he get in this position, think commander in chief, and want to act like a tough guy. Fool never even showed respect to his own siblings and shit. He's a punk. But all this shit is his presidency is to get back at people who do his dirty dealings. And where this fool just runs in here and wants to do whatever, even though forcing the people in his administration. The real thing is that you're going to begin to see kind of the cracking in the foundation of his administration as he's forcing people within his administration who hold these positions in these departments and ain't really doing shit of investigative work or anything. They just going after Donald Trump's political foes. And these are foes that's made up in the mind of this delusional ass bastard. And I like that not Jimmy Kimmel, but James Comey is going to stand up to this fool and embarrass them in court. Like he said, man, let's get ready for trial, homie. And then them stupid ass prosecutors I don't know who gets rid of them or whether Congress got to do this shit or not. But Trump them pimped them Republicans, got them looking like hoes. Some of them Democrats is hoes, the ones who voted for recognizing Charlie Kirk Day or whatever the fuck that day supposed to be. And then Velasquez says Jimmy Crumble, shaking my head. Asian Math in the building, salute. And then Velasquez says Asian Math, 85, sitting on 85 mil. He says Jimmy sold out, says for clout, says, could you blame him though? I ain't gonna put the shit like he sold out because he's still going in on that fool. But he sold out for doing all that apologetic shit to Charlie Kirk, who is nothing to apologize to that clown for. He's a sick-minded fool who harbors, the same views that Hitler and other people over in Germany, where a lot of this shit comes from. And then people want to apologize for him. Fuck that. Y'all ain't do that much apologetic shit for Trayvon Martin. You ain't do that shit for fucking Mike Brown. You ain't do that shit for fucking why I keep forgetting his name? I'm getting old, fool. What's the fool who the cop put his knee on him? Damn, that name really escaped my head. The dude who had the knee put on him. Damn, why I can't think of his name? The one with all the riots. I was just talking about that shit a couple of days ago. I didn't forgot his name. But they didn't have that much sympathy for that. The only reason why they had the kind of even speaking on, but they didn't show empathy towards his death. None of that shit. They only start speaking about that shit because of these goddamn protests. Yeah, George Floyd. That could have been a Jeopardy question. I would have lost that shit. But yeah, that's the only reason why a lot of these networks spoke about it. And the fact that his shit was showcased for the 9 minutes that cop did that sick-minded shit. These fools sitting here crying because this punk got himself smoked by another white kid. And then Velasquez says, wasn't James Comey daughter? Says the main prosecutor says trying to take Sean Veggie Combs out the game. Yeah, his daughter was, but she's an attorney. She put in that position. It ain't like she can turn it down if she's assigned to that damn job. Then shit, it is what it is. But it was a stupid ass case for them to put her in that position, for her to lose her role. And the fact that you deal with a sick-minded president, there's certain things that they have to change into the checks and balance of the system, to where maybe it comes down to where Congress has to make a move to where president doesn't have the power to remove people at federal levels, firing people and all this other shit. But they should have known that shit once Obama was leaving. That's when you really begin to see kind of the twisted side of these fools, as they wouldn't let Obama have certain confirmations, justices dying, them sitting there blocking that shit. And that's when you get up in this current situation we have within this country. Is that kind of shit. Bunch of piece of shit ass stuff going on in this country. But folks, let me end this one. We're going to do a music live stream with my cousin Deuce Time. Oh, before I go, because I was hearing the shit that's going out with the Big U situation when they talking about it's like 50 something people snitching on them or some shit. And that's some hoe ass shit, man. That's some real hoe ass shit. And the fact that people run to these district attorneys to try to, but the district attorneys allow this shit. People, everybody want to be free, but everybody want to be on some gangster criminal shit and doing other shit that harms other people until they face with incarceration. Then they sitting there running, telling. They probably get on other people for, oh, I heard you snitching. You got paperwork. And then they all want to be part of the witch hunt of coming down on people. And then they get in these situations and they some of the biggest fucking rats you ever seen in your goddamn life. Everybody's a bait and switcher in this motherfucker who try to live that goddamn lifestyle. That's why it's best to do your own shit. Stay away from people when they trying to do shit. And this is also a situation I taught my kid recently at his last practice. Is being, an older kid on this team telling him to go grab some water from another group that's out there playing soccer, and I'll catch that shit. Like, you better put that motherfucking shit down. And have to tell the kid or tell him, no, you don't do nothing for none of these motherfuckers. You don't sit there and be used and the motherfucker, you thinking nothing of, or you want to be cool with an older motherfucker. That's why I don't believe in letting my kids just do any fucking thing. Gotta watch these fucking kids, because all these older kids doing little adolescent fucking bullshit that have younger kids out here doing some dumb shit, even though it's like minor ass shit, but it goes into where it becomes something bigger. Of a kid seeing how far somebody go because they older and shit. And you see these motherfuckers, they be the same motherfuckers be turning out doing snitch shit, trying to send motherfuckers out on missions. And so what you also see is probably just based on the history of Big U. He being known for people fear him and this and that shit, that when they have your back against the wall, of how everybody is there to turn on you. And that's why sometimes it's best to just leave motherfuckers alone, do the righteous thing, to where you caught up in a situation, you probably can be innocent. Everybody's plotting against you. And that's just so cold that many people, if it's true, or it's just some internet rumor, if it's true, that is fucked up. But that doesn't mean that you're going to lose the case because a bunch of sorry-ass people sitting there ratting and telling some old drawn-up-ass story. Lice Cuss says, thoughts on Arch Manny. Says, going for 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a block. Man, did you see who they fucking play? That nigga's still weak, homie. Don't ever hype these whack-ass quarterbacks up with me. I don't buy into that quarterback ass-kissing you niggas been programmed to fucking do. Arch Manny is trash as fuck. I don't think he could have threw 600 yards. That nigga's still weak. I still see through that bullshit. Nigga trash. Ain't gonna be nothing good about him. They hyping him up cool because who his 2 punk ass uncles and his chump ass grandfather is. But if you don't see through the damn little whitewashing bullshit in it, then that's on y'all to not see through it. But I don't think nothing of that dude. He fucking playing at Texas where it's nothing but great players and who compete at the highest level in their position is that they're in. It's no different. My sentiments about quarterbacks is the same sentiments that Richard Sherman recently shared about Russell Wilson, him and Tony Gonzalez and all them. Is that they's talking about where Tony Gonzalez was saying that Russell Wilson ruined his possible Hall of Fame career, once he demanded a trade and left Seattle. And Richard Sherman says this Hall of Fame shit people speak about for Russell Wilson only was because he had a legendary defense. And Sherman was right. It also had a legendary running back in the background. Also had some of the top tier fucking receivers. But he wasn't shit, man. He's another quarterback that they sit there and kiss the ass of. The reason why Russell Wilson is a black quarterback was, kind of not shitted on as much, is because he was one of these good old boys that kept his head down, stayed quiet, didn't rock the boat, and all that other shit. He's just a chump. What's up, B? I was about to end this one. Deuce wanted to do a music show, so I'm going to end this one. We're going to do a music show in 10 minutes, so I'm going to end this one. But that was my last piece to talk about that. But Archie Manny all the month, I don't think nothing of these sorry-ass quarterbacks. Says Joe Montana, says the sheriff Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, John Elway, says, what is that? Timothy Tebow says top 5. Man, nigga, please. Fuck them hoes. Them niggas ain't shit. I don't even know how good Joe Montana was. Because also in the era where they try to protect that quarterback shit. All that little philosophy and thinking of the black guy wasn't intelligent enough to play this whack-ass position. So I don't think nothing of Joe Montana like that. I mean, he did his thing, but shit, he had Hall of Fame ass receivers and Hall of Fame ass everything built around that team. I don't buy it. Football is full of that whitewashing shit, and you motherfuckers is too fucking ignorant to fucking see the shit. When you watch football, you pay attention to who doing they shit on that goddamn field. It's too bad every offensive play got to go through a fucking funky ass quarterback. But that's all I got. Catch you on the next one. Unless you're a quarterback that can do other shit on that field, then you ain't shit. But I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.